This is a Geek Leader. Hey guys, this is episode 6 of A Geek Leader, and I'm your host, John Rauda. I want to start out just by thanking everyone who has left a review in iTunes and has subscribed. That's awesome. Hopefully you keep doing that. It's the best way to get the word out there and share the show. So today I want to talk about likability and the importance of likability. Skill and technical ability and knowledge and all those things will only take you so far in a career. And likability is kind of like the one thing that will take you a little bit further. And that's kind of the thing that you need to have if you want to continue to grow your career and your leadership style and your influence over people. So I want to talk a little bit about how I teach people to be likable, more likable. One of the things that I do at the schools that I teach, when I teach a class, I stress the soft skills. So even if I'm teaching like a hardware computer class or a programming class, I stress the soft skills because it's really important for computer developers or hardware technicians to learn how to interact with people, because that's really important. For example, when I look at job descriptions at many companies, they usually top out in the first 2 levels of a developer on just technical skills. But where the thing shifts, to the higher levels, the team leads, the managers, the system architects, those kind of positions all rely on team leadership and soft skills. Another thing that is really heavy on soft skills is interviewing, being able to interview and get the job, right? And also being able to get a promotion. People don't want to work with people that they don't like. They want people that are likable. That's one of the things that I really focus on when I'm hiring someone, is how likable they are. And what I want to do is just give you some tips and like hacks or things that you can do to kind of develop a habit of being more likable, because you don't want to just be likable during an interview, right? You want to be likable all the time. You don't want people to hate working with you. You want them to like working with you. So that's what I want to focus on. All right. One of the first things and easiest things that you can do to be more likable is your body language. One of the rules that I've heard is the 7-38-55 rule, which is 7% of communication is the words you say, 38% is your tone of your voice, your vocal tonality, and 55% is your body language. Well, I don't know if it's exactly that high. I don't know if those numbers are even right, but I heard that somewhere and it kind of stuck with me. So what I think it is important is how you sit when you're talking to someone, how you stand when you're talking to someone. There's some things that you can do to have positive body language around people. One of the things is, if you're in a meeting, don't slouch and put your feet up on the table, right? Sit there and pay attention. Look at people in the face. Look at people in the eyes when they're talking to you. Those are some things that you can really do to improve your likability. Don't cross your arms. Use an enthusiastic tone. Smile when you talk. I found that when I smile when I talk, people think I'm happier. Whether I am or not, the smiling, makes me come across as a happier person. And what I have found in reverse is, when I do smile, even if I'm not happy, I become happy. Like, it tricks my body somehow, or my mind, into, hey, you're happy now. So I become more happy. Another thing that you can do is to greet people by name. So people like to hear their name. It feels great that people remember your name. One of the things that shocked me was when I was at a birthday party, and a person that I saw was for my daughter, so it wasn't even a friend of mine, but one of their parents was there, and they remembered my name from more than a year ago. I haven't seen them in forever. And they remember my name, and I was like, whoa, how did this guy remember my name? And, I talked to him the whole night because I was so impressed the fact that he remembered my name. So when you greet people by name, it just makes a big difference. And even people that you've known for a while, instead of just going up there and say, hey, can you do this? Say, hey, Jeff, can you do this? That makes a big difference. You're identifying them with their name, and it makes people just feel a little bit better around you. Another thing you can do is smile. I mentioned this earlier, just smile. Smiling just changes the conversation. It changes the tone. It makes people know that you're not mad at them, because a lot of times people will read into questions that you ask and things like that, and they'll assume that you're not happy. So just smiling changes the whole conversation and makes you more likable. So smile. Smile also when you're talking on the phone. Believe it or not, people can tell. Even if you can't see the smile, you can tell that they're smiling, right? Be genuine. That's one that I think is really difficult to be authentic and be genuine. It's really difficult to kind of tell someone how to do that. I can't give you instructions on how to be genuine. I can't give you instructions on how to be authentic. People just say, be authentic, be genuine. And really all that is don't be fake. Don't pretend to like things just because other people like them. Don't, assume that everything is negative when people are complaining about something. Don't jump in there and complain too if you don't really feel it. I mean, act the way you really feel about things. And people will pick up on that. That's one of the things that humans are really, really good at, is detecting BS. They just know it, right? They know when you're being authentic or when you're being real. So be authentic. It's fantastic. It's the way to be likable. That's like number one. Another thing that you can do to be more likable is to ask questions. Ask questions about people, and not just like work questions. So if you go up to someone, you're talking about work things, start the conversation with, what'd you do this weekend? Anything fun planned next weekend? How are the wife and the kids? Those kind of questions show that you're interested in them on a deeper level than just the things that work's about, right? So ask questions. That's one of the things that I do when I always go up to people in my team, and before I ask them to do something for me, unless it's like absolutely urgent, like a system's down or we really need to get this done for the CIO or something like that, I start out just by saying, hey man, how was your weekend? Or what'd you do yesterday? How are things going? Everything good with the wife and the kids? And it's great even if you can say their wife's name or their kids' names. That makes them feel even more validated that you really care. And the thing is, you really do need to care. If you want to be liked by these people, you have to like them back. It's just kind of one of the rules of likability. Another thing that you can do that's pretty easy is just to not hold your phone in front of your face when you're talking to them. Or don't sit at your desk typing away while they come up to talk to you. And that's not a likable thing. It makes the person on the other end feel like they're less important than your computer or less important than your cell phone. So you want to put those things away. Look at the person in the face. Look at them in their eyes. And some people feel uncomfortable about that, but try to look at them in their eyes while they're talking to you. Nod your head, letting them know that you're being an active listener, that you're paying attention, that you agree to certain things, and smile. It's important to smile, because if you look at them with a blank stare, they're going to assume that you are bored out of your mind and they want to leave, right? Another thing about being likable is being consistent, maintaining your same persona all the time. Don't act one way around somebody and a different way around someone else, because when you do that, it comes off as being inauthentic. So you want to be likable, you want to be consistent. All right, so those are some of the things that you can do to be likable. And if you really want to take your career to the next level, you really have to focus on being likable, because technical skills and the ability to be a great manager or project lead or developer or network technician, whatever it is that your job is, will only take you to a certain point. If you want to go higher than that, you've got to be likable. So these are just some of the things that I think are important on likability, and it's one of the things that I stress in pretty much every lecture that I give to my students is the importance of soft skills and likability. There's going to be probably a follow-up to this in a few weeks, because I feel so passionate about the fact that this is so important in your career. So I'm going to probably do another session, probably with more tactical things that you can do to be more likable. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you could, just head on over to iTunes, leave me a review and a rating. That'd be fantastic. Subscribe, invite your friends, share it on Facebook, everything like that. That'd be fantastic. And check us out at the at geekleader.com. You can see the show notes and links to some of these tips and things like that. This is Geek Leader episode 6. All right, thanks a lot. Hope you enjoyed this episode. It was brought to you by What's HTML. That's my book about learning HTML. Learn it in 4 hours. It's kind of like the 80-20 of HTML. The 80% of things that you need to do in 20% of the pieces of code that you need to learn in order to master HTML. So hopefully you'll check it out. We've got it on Amazon. It's in Audible. If you prefer to listen to your books like I do, go to whatshtml.com or just search for it on Amazon and Audible. Thanks a lot.